It sounded better than I expected because I was just like, man, I'm like, Modern Gentleman, a gentleman's guide to dangerous living.
Ugh. Let me spell it then, it's M-O-D-E-R-N, gentlemen. M-O-D-E-R-N, gentlemen.
I know you recently listened to the album, and I did too just before we started filming these. Just to kind of, you put it on and the memories come back. But how do you think it held up now? Just in general, and to maybe how you were expecting it to sound when you put it in?
Right. No, I mean, it sounds good quality-wise. Like, you kind of wonder because it was so long ago and it was like just recorded on zero budget or whatever,
and with us doing
with just us doing it all DIY ourselves or whatever. So I mean the quality of it's fine, and then the songs, like, I think they hold up. I guess like periodically through the years I would go back and like play a track when it popped into my head, so I kind of still had references of it and I knew I liked them, but like, and there'll be ones that I'll like more at a different time, and then like other ones too. But overall, I think it held up. I don't know.
It sounded better than I expected because I was just like, man, I'm like, we mixed this whole thing ourselves, and when I put it in, I was like, wow, this still actually does sound great. I don't know, for some reason I was expecting the mix to be not as good as it was, but the mastering, they did a good job there. That was the only thing we didn't do. But yeah, and I still thought I liked all the songs. Some of them had me kind of laughing again at little parts I forgot.
Right.
So I thought it held up well too. Sometimes you listen to music that you recorded even, a year ago, and there's I think artists always have an ever-changing relationship with their creations. This year you could ask me what are my favorite things I've recorded, or songs in this, and it's going to change from day to day.
Right.
Sometimes I'll be like, oh, this is so good, and then they'll be like, this was garbage. Why did I put this out? But that Modern Gentleman album has always been at the top of one of the favorite albums I've ever done, honestly.
Oh, me too, for sure. Yeah. I mean, there's only like, out of all the stuff I've done, there's only like a handful of stuff that I really like after like years of reflection, and that's one of them for sure. So
I don't know. It'd be kind of interesting to ask some of the people who had the album 10 years ago.
Liked it at the time, they'd probably be like, what the fuck was I into
back
then?
I'm kind of worried. So if you're watching this and you have had the album since it came out, let us know. And I guess if you're watching it, you're either really curious or you still think the album's decent. Or
you think we're that New Orleans jazz quartet doing an anniversary chat.
But leave a nice comment, a nice one, or we'll shit on your floor. No, but tell us what you if you have listened to the album recently, and if you still think it's decent,
if it holds
or maybe
up.
You didn't like it to begin with. I don't know why you're watching this, why you're here. Leave a comment that says something nice, or we'll shit on your floor.
Yeah.
Do you have any regrets with the album when you listened to it? Was there anything that you were just like, I shouldn't have said this, or maybe we should have done this different, or...
What do you think? I mean, I have regrets, but I don't know.
I don't, like, when I listen to the album, there's not anything where I'm like, oh, fuck, we shouldn't have said that or done that. There is, sometimes there's phrasing in the thing. There's a couple little phrasings, and there's things that I think that a lot of it is context.
Yeah.
So there is like one or two lines where I hear and I'm like, if I heard an artist say this, seriously, definitely would be awful. But I think it's clear that the context of the album is comedy and it's not serious, and we're not doing those things. That being said, there might be one or two times where I might have said like bitch or something where I'm like, well, I could have been a little more creative. But there's not anything on there that I don't really like stand behind or I don't want anyone to hear.
Right. No, same thing. There's a couple little lines on there, but some of the stuff, like some of it, like, because I just listened recently again, so I'm like, what? But then I think about it, and context is a big part of it, and also for me, I was just trying to rhyme with the thing that I said right before it, or said right after it, so that's all that mattered to me. Like the rhyme pattern of it was like one of the most important things to me. So even if it was like a horrible thing to say, I was like, well, it sounds really good rhyming together. So that was a big focus of mine. I know it's not a good excuse, but that's what it was. And then it was all just joking anyways. So
I think there was probably a couple days recording down there where we were trying to push it a little bit with what we were saying, not
Maybe
to like a horrible extreme,
right.
You know, where we were just like,
Just
I'm gonna
after-
kill you and fuck your corpse, like,
Right.
But there was like, whoa, let's see if I can get away with saying this.
Yeah.
And you're like,
and this was before, like, nowadays, if you said some of this stuff too, now with like all the people getting in trouble for shit and stuff. Well, if we were successful in the first place, we'd probably get in trouble. But like some of, say some of the stuff nowadays.
No, and
that reminds me, that was one of the times we thought about doing the reunion. It was when all this PC culture stuff started happening.
Yeah.
And we were like, oh, let's shit on all of this and make fun of all of it. It's a perfect time to do some more music. And that's kind of was...
that was kind of one thing that came up. And again, context, you know, it was just...
Yeah. But yeah, so I don't have any regrets in that regard. I mean, I have regrets in the sense that there were some songs, ideas that we never got to finish.
Yeah.
I wish we would have toured more, just because that's awesome.
I wish we would have got signed to a label.
Yeah, I mean...
I regret that we didn't do that.
I regret you guys all making the mistake of not signing us.
I regret not making a shit ton of money.
Yep. That would have made things a lot easier.
Yeah, I mean, we could have had 5 or 6 albums out by now. Albums.
Yep.
Think our shit don't stink? Smell it again. You ain't heard the hype? Let me spell it then. M-O-D-E-R-N, gentlemen. M-O-D-E-R-N, gentlemen.